One of the most important questions that's come up as we've announced a potential capital campaign in 2025 is this: why now? And the first answer is simple and practical. We know that the note on our $2.2 million in debt comes due on May 5th, 2027. Given this, our staff and finance committee have been working proactively to build a strategy that not only retires that debt, but positions OU for long-term financial health and sustainability. 18 months ago, we began working with Joe Park of Horizon Stewardship to help us think about long-term generosity and stewardship. And that work has focused on three key areas: annual giving, capital giving, and legacy giving. And we've already seen the impact of this renewed focus. In 2024 and in 2025, we began each year with The Way of Generosity, a series inviting the OU community to engage in the spiritual practice of giving. And the results speak for themselves. Q1 giving grew from $470,000 in 2023 to $600,000 in 2024 and $659,000 in 2025. That's the highest Q1 giving on record 2 years in a row. And as we look ahead, we've considered a campaign focused solely on debt elimination, but after studying our past efforts in 2016 with a building campaign, in 2019 with a debt campaign, we realized there was an even better opportunity. What we discovered was this: a building campaign wouldn't just help us retire the debt, but it would also allow us to make simple, strategic, and mission-driven investments in key spaces, enhancing our ability to welcome and worship, to serve, and to grow. For example, we know that the traditional sanctuary built in 1950 was untouched in the 2016 renovation. It has been the spiritual heart of OU for 75 years, a sacred space that served as our spiritual oasis during our last campaign, our building renovation campaign. We believe excellent traditional worship is core to our identity, and this campaign would give us an opportunity to leave a lasting legacy, renewing that sacred space for future generations. This building campaign, however, would be different from the 2016 campaign in some key ways. In 2016, we approved two separate capital campaigns due to the cost, one for building and one for debt. But this time, we contemplate one single unified campaign, the Abundantly More campaign, with clear priorities and simple solutions. These solutions have the full support of our ministry and financial leaders, but ultimately the scope of this campaign will be determined not just by leadership, but by you, the congregation. Here's what we've learned. In 2016, 325 families gave to the building campaign. In 2019, 255 families gave to debt elimination. In the last 12 months, we've seen giving increase, and we have 72 new families who've given a first-time gift, energized by the mission and ministry of OU. And the result would be that we would have more capacity. In 2016, we 3x'd our annual giving with a capital commitment. In 2019, we only 2x'd it with a debt campaign. And that tells us something important. Our church gives more generously when we're building for the future toward a shared vision. I know that some of you still wonder why now. Some additional reasons are simply that we have momentum. We're in a position of strength and health, financially and spiritually. It's a good time to engage in this effort. And some of you have asked, what about taking on additional debt? We're confident that we can tailor this in a way that with your faithful participation, we can end the campaign debt-free. We'll tailor it to what we can afford, and any short-term financing for construction will be carefully managed and used only as a bridge. We envision being completely debt-free at the end of this campaign in 2028. That's our goal, and it's very clear: to free OU from the burden of debt so that we can invest fully in mission and ministry as God has entrusted us. And with God's help and your continued generosity, we believe that we can do that, and we can do it together.